Welcome to Avocado Talks.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Avocado Talks. Welcome. And this is your host, Luigi Caldeira. And today I have with me this California girl. She's right here.
I'm a Cali girl now.
Yeah, Cali girl.
We'll just stick to,
Laura,
yeah.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here. Excited to be part of the avocado talk. We all love avocados for the
Yeah,
most part.
no, absolutely. Well, welcome. And don't, be scared to be ridiculous because that's what we do here at Avocado Talks. We pretend to know what we're talking about, but we really don't, you know?
That's an interesting way to put it. I would say fully transparent, no filter. And that's just how I am. So here we are.
Yes, well, welcome. Excited to have you. So today we have picked a topic that I'm
hmm
excited to talk about
Yeah.
because I think we definitely have different journeys, but
Yes.
we're kind of, on the same path on this. And
Yeah.
guys, we're going to talk about learning that you deserve better.
Yeah. Self love is key for so many areas in a person's life, and a lot of times we just generally put that in a box when it comes to a relationship, a love relationship. And as I was telling you earlier, we can apply this into work, into our own personal relationship with ourselves, our body, our health, our friendships, our families. So it's just such a broad subject, but naturally we just gravitate and put that in a relationship
Right.
box, which is what I was taught.
I think that's where you start realizing, right,
Yeah.
things in life. I think
Mm-hmm.
when you relate to, when you start understanding, hey, wait a minute, this is not working out for me. It's
Right.
usually in the relationship, kind of, um, I guess, place.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, as soon as you start taking it to other areas of your life and
Mm-hmm.
applying it, boy, that makes such a huge difference.
Yeah.
You know?
It definitely changes the way you move as a person. I feel like once I realized that I was allowing friends, people that I loved, in my circle, in my surroundings, and that I was going above and beyond for them, but they weren't doing the same in return. And I had to put a stop to that. It wasn't until I stopped that I realized, wow, I have so much more time for myself, or people that actually go above and beyond for me as well.
Right.
So it's a beautiful thing to learn.
Yep.
I almost wish I would have learned it sooner than later, because I feel like I would have achieved different things in life,
Well, there's a time for everything,
That
and
is
things
true.
don't happen just because things happen for a reason.
Right.
And I always try to say this in the podcast that I've done so far, like have a little bit of self empathy there
Yeah.
because we're not always like living the same thing like all the time, and it takes different times for people to
Right.
understand different things. But let's start with relationship,
Yeah.
right? I mean, did you ever have like a relationship where you got to a place that something happened in your mind? What the hell am I doing here?
Yeah. um, I promise to write a book when I get married, because the relationships that I've been in just don't make any sense, and obviously we jump into something because it feels right in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, and you see the effort that the person is putting, but I can say the guy that I was last engaged to, I definitely had that moment, literally word for word, as you just said. And it was a moment where I just realized all the efforts and the lifestyle change that I made for myself were going completely to waste, because I was putting my energy and my focus on making a relationship work that was just not it for me, you know.
Right.
And I remember being in this guy's apartment and staring myself in the mirror and questioning, how did I get here? How did
Right.
I get here? You know? So it's a very interesting moment to have with yourself,
Yeah.
you know, because I feel we're so caught up in our day-to-day lives and just getting things done and, you know, being there for that person that you love, that you just don't see, what is this bringing to you? What am I receiving from this relationship?
Right.
You know, so that moment happened at the worst of my relationship with that guy. And I literally questioned myself, how did I get here? How?
Right. The same thing happened to me on my first real relationship. I left everything for this person. And, when we started dating, I was coming out of high school. And, he was older, he was
Mm-hmm.
making more money than me. And we had like this difference. But in a very short period of time, I grew so much as an individual,
Yeah.
where I got to a place where I felt like there was a disconnect on where I wanted to go in life. And I
Mm-hmm.
felt like he was holding me back. He wasn't really happy for the things that I was accomplishing. Even
Interesting.
something simple as getting a new car. I remember I got this new Murano. Have you seen those Muranos that they're actually convertible?
Yeah.
I don't think they do. They
No.
come out with them anymore, but I'm talking about a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and I was so happy. I got home. I wanted him to go see my new toy, and
Yeah.
he wasn't even able to do that. He wasn't there, like
Yeah.
So I started questioning myself, like, what the hell am I doing in this relationship? You know, because you have to understand, like, if you have to understand that you can't change the person either, right?
No.
So if it doesn't work for you, then you need to move on.
Right. Right. I think that's when I personally realized, you know, I had to love myself
Yeah.
enough to be okay with being completely alone, you know. And if the next person that I'm in a relationship with doesn't add value into my life, doesn't teach me something or bring something positive, I'm not helping you become a better man.
Right.
You should already be at the level that you need to be with me, you know, because that's what I did in that relationship. I was focusing on helping this individual that I saw his potential, you know, and I just wasted time, you know, emotions, you
Yeah.
know, and just,
Energy.
and yeah, a lot of that, you
A
know,
lot of
and
energy.
just, it was so such a toxic
Yeah.
place.
And it's sad when you sit there and you realize that you wasted time,
Oh,
because time is the most valuable thing we have in
facts.
life.
Yes.
Hashtag facts right there. Avocado Talks, telling you how it is. So I read something online and it's very cute to this. And it says,
Hmm.
you understand everyone in your life serves a purpose.
Yeah.
Even the person who made you realize
Hmm.
that that person that made you realize you deserve better,
Yeah.
was a lesson.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm grateful for my lowest moments, you
Right.
know, and that definitely falls into that box,
Right.
because if it wasn't because I went through that toxic narcissistic relationship, I wouldn't have realized that I wasn't loving myself the way that I thought I was loving myself.
Right.
You know, there was a point in my life where I became fully dedicated to God and the church, you know, and I felt like that's all I needed. And then whatever was going to come next was going to be happy and rainbows and colorful. And it was just not it, you know? So jumping into this relationship completely stripped me from all the happiness and rainbows and joy that I had, you know, and it just made me realize, yes, you do need God, but you also need to like love yourself.
Right.
You know, it's not just church check, it's also
Right.
like you have to be good yourself, mentally, emotionally, you know, and just developing as a human being, like you were
Yep.
saying, you know, and being fully aware of the people around you, you know, like the same thing when it comes to friendships. If your friends are not excited for you when you're doing better, or when you're about to make like a big jump, or I don't know, just excited with you to see
Right.
the outcome, their true colors come out,
Yeah.
and it sucks, especially when you love them,
Oh yeah, no, it does. It sucks, but I mean, people have their own way of doing things, But I want to ask you something because
Yeah.
you said you were in a happy place
Yeah.
and you got into this relationship with
Mhm.
this person
Mhm.
that stripped everything away from you.
Yeah.
So my question for you, if you were talking to younger Laura right now, like why? Like why get in, like you know
You
where I'm getting to,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
why?
I will say this, and this is something that I have also learned through a period of time, especially recently. My intuition, my spirit knew that was a mistake.
Right.
But the people around me were like, what if?
Mm-hmm.
What if you do change him? What if this does work out? What if God has, a
A plan for him or
magical,
something.
moment, and like you guys end up changing the world?
Right.
So I listened to what people said instead of listening to what my spirit was telling me.
Okay.
And ever since that moment, I stopped listening to people. And don't get me wrong, we're human, we want to surround ourselves with counsel that give us the right advice on how to move
Mm-hmm.
and do things. But I believe that we all have intuition.
Yeah.
We all have a spirit that leads you, and we all have a different calling in life. So when there's a trigger in you to do something, that doesn't mean that the next person is going to feel it, so you can't be led by what that person is telling you. You have to be led by what your spirit is telling you.
Right. Yeah. And that
So
that that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
if I can go back
Yeah.
to 2000 and I don't know 15, I would tell my younger version, listen to your
Intuition.
intuition, don't do it, because I knew, but like I got led by the hype,
Yeah.
by what it looked like, what it was presented, by what people were saying, and that just, I opened up my heart to the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful for it,
Yeah.
again, because it taught me a lot about myself.
Absolutely. And, I guess there may be a lot of people out there who are maybe feeling that, they are trapped in a relationship
Mm.
and that they're starting to realize how much they're worth. You know, this talk hopefully will, help them realize that it is a process,
Yeah,
um, the
it is.
best case scenario would be listen to your intuition, but if you don't, there's time, you're going to make that realization, and
Yeah.
then the most difficult part is actually getting out of it, right? Because
Yes. Yes, it is.
understanding that you deserve better is just the first step.
Right.
Getting out, and we're talking about, love relationships, but it's personal friendship relationships, all these kinds of things, for you to actually remove yourself
Mm-hmm.
from what know is not a good fit for you, and that you belong, you deserve something better, is a challenge.
Definitely. And I think the hardest one to get out of,
Right.
personally, is the love relationship.
Yeah.
Because with a friend, they do something that exposes their heart, and you're like, okay, this is not for me.
Right.
Have a good life, da 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 da, the
Right.
end. It's easy to say that when it comes to a love relationship, but to actually do it, especially after you invested years in a relationship, talked about marriage, the families are involved, like it's a total different ball game.
Yeah.
So, and obviously when you're intimate with a person, you have a deeper connection, so
Right.
it's not going to be the same fight for me to leave a, bad friendship than a bad relationship, so for me, I think, and I'm very honest about this, especially with my friends that I see, that face toxic relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You want to help people, but you have to get to that point where you're just done.
Right.
When you realize, like you said earlier, how did I get here?
Yeah.
And something's going to happen when you realize that that's not it for you,
Right.
and you're still going to struggle. It's not like I just looked in the mirror, realized I was living a life that I did not need to be living, and just left him alone completely. I loved this individual, and I was willing to have the rest of my life with this man, so it was very hard for me to like become aware that that was not for me and completely pull. It was a long process.
Yeah.
I will keep coming back. And I remember driving to his house and praying and being like, God, I know you don't want me going to this man's house, but I'm driving there because I'm stubborn.
Right.
And when I get there, just show me something that's going to piss me off, and I'm just going to get up and go. And literally every single time I would drive to this man's house and I would find a lipstick, a mascara, a shampoo, whatever, so it was always something that would like trigger me and I would leave.
Right.
But it was a long process.
Yeah, no, and to be honest, when you're faced with all of this, it takes courage to leave,
Yeah.
But society is always teaching us like this agenda, this
Mhm.
whole
Mhm.
thing that we need to follow. You need to have this wonderful relationship. You have to, get married by a certain age, and then you have to have
Mhm.
kids. So we're all like kind of following this whole like book that, so it's difficult sometimes for
Yeah.
you to process in your head, hey, you know what, I do deserve better than what
Mhm.
society is telling me to do, what society is telling me to follow, what my friends are telling me to follow, what my family is
Absolutely.
telling me to do,
Absolutely.
you know
It's so funny that you say that because I remember um I'm 33, I'm single. I don't have kids. So my mom is like in that stage where she's like she wants grandchildren.
mm-hmm.
So a couple of months ago she mentioned my ex and she was like, if you would have had a baby with him, it would have been beautiful. And I was like, what? Like, why would you say that?
Right.
And it goes back to that. Like, I'm 33, so I'm supposed to be a mom. I'm supposed to be, in a relationship. I'm supposed to be married. And honestly, a lot of my friends are. Like 90% of my friends are either married or have kids or in a
Right.
relationship. Very few of my friends, probably less than three that are my age, are single with no kids.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very hard, but honestly, I'm grateful.
Right.
I'm grateful that I'm 33 and I don't have kids and I don't have to report to a person and say what I'm doing, when I'm coming home, and da 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 da. Because I haven't found that individual that I feel like you deserve to know and I want to build with you. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's definitely pressure,
Mm-hmm.
in society nowadays for the age and the checklist that we have to do.
Yeah.
But I'm naturally a rule breaker.
Yeah. Good.
So for me, I'm like, I'm just living my life,
Yeah.
I'm in LA, I'm in Miami, I'm like seeing where life takes me. Yes, I believe in being successful. Yes, I believe in being financially smart. I'm not over here doing crazy decisions,
Yeah.
but I don't want to be put in a box,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, we are living very similar things. I mean, I am in a relationship. I am married, but we're very close to age. You're
Yeah.
just about 6 months older than I am.
Eh.
But, it's the same thing. Like people start asking you questions. And yeah, I even, question this myself. And sometimes I have these conversations with Leo, like we want to be dads, but is this what we want to do? Like, were we born to do it? or do we just want to become dads because
Of
everybody
the
else is doing
checklist.
it, because of the
Hmm.
checklist, and or do we deserve something better, which would be to live the life we want to live?
Yeah.
Or is that selfish? Like, there's so much that comes to my head, when all
Mm,
of that comes to mind. But at the end of the day, I'm on the same page as you. Like, I'm a rule breaker and I'm doing whatever I want to do, and I'm happy doing it,
exactly.
and that's what matters.
That's
Something
definitely what
else that I
matters.
read, which was interesting, is you'll realize time is the most precious asset you have. So don't waste it on someone who plays games, right? Like,
Can
stop.
I like put my shades on
Like,
properly for
stop. Like, zoom in.
listen. God, I was celibate for 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And in those 10 years, I did not entertain any men. And I was so focused
Mm-hmm.
on my business, on myself, on self development. And it was the best 10 years, that I had. And then I jumped into this relationship with this guy. And we knew each other for many years and we were friends. And I thought we were going to get married. So I was like, okay, let's go, and obviously it went completely south, super toxic. And then after that, I was like, okay, so how do I live my life moving forward?
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't want to go back into that box of celibacy and, church, this and that, church rules,
Yeah.
I wanted to be normal. So, not to say that I went and I hooked up with every single guy I met, but I was more lenient,
Got it.
because I always had the rule that if you're not my boyfriend, I'm not having sex with you.
Well, you found a balance,
Right.
right?
But I will say this now, again, at 33, I'm not wasting my time. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm going back to celibacy. I'm back to celibacy because I refuse
Yeah. I
to
get you.
give the best of me
Yep.
to whatever individual that just wants to like run a game on me
Yeah.
because he wants to hook up. Like, and even if they want to tell me that they just want to hook up because they're not looking for a relationship, then you see them in a relationship 6 months
Right.
later.
Right.
So I'm not believing anything.
Right.
If you want to hook up with me, good luck. Let me know. Let me know when we get there, because I rather meet the person,
Right.
than worry about that.
Yeah.
That's
No,
like
definitely.
that's like the best you have,
Yeah.
you know?
Are you ready for another one on
Uh-oh.
this? No, you have to be ready for this one, okay? Because this learning that you deserve better topic
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
more than deep. So,
Yeah.
this is what I read online. You'll finally understand that sorry doesn't always mean it won't happen again. And then we got the mic and we drop it because it's so true. You know, it ha- when you have, let's say, a toxic friend, right?
Ugh,
Somebody
yeah.
that is not happy for you. Um,
Yeah.
that person is not there for you, and that person will say that, oh, I'm so sorry, I couldn't do this, or I'm so sorry I'm late, or I'm so sorry I forgot. Like, it's gonna
It
happen
gets
again.
old.
Yeah,
It
but
gets
it's
old.
it's gonna happen again
Yeah. 100.
because that person is doesn't belong in your life.
Right. Right. And again, like those are one of the things that I learned in the past several years. Like friendships, if I come through for you and you don't come through for me, we're not on the same
We're
page.
not.
If I drive to you to support what you're doing and you don't come to support what I'm doing, we're not on the same page.
I agree. I agree.
So
Yeah,
cut it.
totally, totally. Because I get into that kind of issue with my mom sometimes
Mm,
because the whole church thing. Like, she wants me to support her
yeah,
on her things, but it's not the other way around. So that
mm,
gets on my nerves.
absolutely, absolutely.
It yes, we do create expectations,
Hmm.
and I guess we should learn not to,
Right.
but we're on this journey. All of us are in this journey together, this life journey. you know we're on the same boat, we're living different lives, but
Yeah.
we are all expecting the same things. We are. We want love, we want happiness, we want, companionship. So you have to take those things into consideration. Don't be selfish believing just because you're living a different route, that everybody has to follow what you're doing. Like, it's not really like that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to support each other in whatever, you know your plans are, really.
To add to that, I remember I had a friend and she stopped talking to me because she felt that I wasn't a good friend because I didn't want to do the things that she wanted to do with her.
Okay.
And my opinion on that was, why can't we find something that we both enjoy
Right.
so we can do it? That's what friends do. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, I want to enjoy something together, not just go there because I'm your friend,
I
and
think you can go out of your way sometimes to do something that
yeah.
the other person wants to do, but I mean, it has to be. uh,
Like, I'll do it for an hour, but not 5.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'll pull up for an hour and do something I don't want to do. But if it's going to be something that's going to take my whole night or my whole afternoon or my whole morning,
Right.
I'm not going to do it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
But I will say that when it comes to family, like, you have
Oh
this
my God, we're gonna
situation.
talk about
Are
family.
we there yet? Should I, like,
Okay, go
wait?
ahead. Yeah.
Well, I just want to say sometimes you can't cut people off, right?
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of people that I know in my life that I love a lot because of, just God and like how life brought us
Mm-hmm.
together. So sometimes I feel bad just cutting this person out of my life because they did something that hurt me,
Right.
that doesn't reflect a real friendship. So what I decided to do, and this might help some people out, is put people in different categories, right? So I have my friends, and I'm not gonna tell them what category they fall
Oh,
under,
I was about to
but
say, what the hell is my category? I
I
want to
cannot
know.
expose this information.
Oh my
But
God.
like, you just know, so
Yeah.
like I have my friends that are like family,
Right.
that if I am stranded and it's 2 in the morning and my car breaks down and AAA doesn't answer and, like, I don't know, something crazy happens, I know I can call those people.
Oh, that ain't me, because I'm not gonna get out of my bed to
Now
go
we
help you
know.
out just
Now we
because
know.
I have no idea how to change the tire or something.
But
But
like, it could be whatever.
yeah.
Like, it could be a different scenario. Like, I remember when I was going through a rough season in my life and
Mm-hmm.
you open up your doors
Yeah.
to me, and I was like, wow, like, that's a real friendship,
Yeah.
because
Oh.
little hearts, because I know that people want to, like, talk about problems and they like to vent, but like, who actually says, here,
Right.
come, I got you, I'll help you?
Yeah.
That's a different kind of friendship.
Yeah.
I remember when there was a hurricane a couple of years ago that, like, affected our neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have electricity for 2 weeks. One of my friends opened up her house for
Right.
me to be able to have hot a hot shower.
Right.
So things like that stick to me because I see, like, wow, you're a real friend.
Yeah.
But then I have those friends that I love, and I see that they are broken individuals. But the thing is, I don't just put that label on anybody because we are all broken in
Yeah.
some kind of way,
Yeah.
you know. And we're not going to get into that because that's another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But, there's people that I understand, you had a bad upbringing, so you're not going to be mentally equipped to be an adult at the age that we're at, and you're going to do things that teenagers do per se, but you're that friend that I know I can't call
Right.
when I need something. You're that friend that's only going to call me to gossip. You're that friend
Oh, you're
that
listening to this, right? You're listening. But so let me just ask you something there, and sorry to interrupt, but do you consider them friends? Because I have an issue with this.
I know it's rough. It's a rough thing because when you love someone,
Mm-hmm.
love covers all, right? So I don't want to like start preaching, but it sounds like a preaching. So when you love someone, you don't see their flaws. But this is where self love comes into
Right.
play, so you have to love yourself enough to know that's not a real friend to me, but I'ma still love them from
Yeah.
far away.
No, yeah,
You know what I mean?
I get the loving from far away. It's just for me, the friend, like
The
in
word.
the word friend, in order for
Okay.
me to call somebody a friend,
Yeah.
like that means a lot to me.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
like even as simple as coming to my house, that's a big deal for me. You
Okay.
know, just because I'm very reserved.
Yeah.
So I have few friends. I don't have a lot of people that I call friends because of that.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel that.
yeah,
I think that's more of a personality
yeah,
aspect.
yeah. I agree.
Because I know a lot of people in my life, and some people are like, wow, you have so many contacts. I don't even call more than 20 people on my phone.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I know a lot of people, and if I see you in the street and we barely ever hang out, I'm gonna be like, oh, this is my friend, da 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 da. So for me, friend, the word is not a big deal.
Yeah.
You
No, I
know,
get you.
it's just again putting people in different boxes, and there's people that I just call to party with.
Right.
There's people that I called to like get something done, but I still have love for them.
Yeah.
So it's for me, I just learned to put people in different boxes.
Okay.
But the ones that are like close to my heart are the ones that I consider family.
Gotcha.
And even those friends sometimes fail us because we're
Yeah, they do.
people. We're human. We're
Yeah.
going to make mistakes. We're going to say something that's going to come off. Even I, fall into that category where I mess up and I say something, and the person is having a bad
We all
day
do.
and
We
they
all
take
do.
it into a whole different perspective. But again, it all goes down to loving yourself enough to know, okay, this person deserves this much of my time. This person deserves for me to go out of my way to spend time
Right.
with them. Like, again, I'm here in Miami, I'm visiting. I have like made lunch appointments, breakfast appointments, dinner appointments, coffee appointments with people that want to hang out.
Right.
If you don't want to hang out, cool. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But I'm not going to go out of my way to spend time with my friends that live here when I'm visiting here.
Yeah.
That shows me who is actually with me. You know
Yeah,
what I
no, I
mean?
get you. I
So,
get you totally. Now, just to
if,
close up this subject on learning that you deserve better, I just
mm,
wanted to share one last thing, which is, whatever you're going through, you're listening to us, whatever you're going through, if it's a bad relationship, if it's a toxic friend,
yeah.
or even that job
Oh,
that we didn't even talk about job, but maybe it's that job that people are not, valuing your worth, or not giving you enough credit, or maybe, it's a family member that's giving you a lot of headache or
mhm,
whatever.
mhm.
When you understand that you deserve better, please don't mix up giving up and moving on. Because a lot of people, I think they are not, they're afraid to realize, okay, I really need to leave this relationship. They're thinking they're giving up, and it's not about giving up. You're moving on, you
I love
know
that.
and I think I really wanted to leave, this, so everybody can think about that for a minute. Giving up is one thing, moving on is another. It's time for you to move on.
Hmm.
You know, Forget about, stop making excuses for people. That's another thing,
Yeah.
because sometimes we get into this habit of, oh no, but it's because this person is this, like, no, like, stop, move on, give yourself, your self-worth. You're gonna you're going to start holding yourself to a higher standard, you
Setting
know,
boundaries.
set boundaries.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yes. I started doing that this year, and I will tell you it has helped me immensely.
Yeah,
Setting boundaries with family members,
yeah,
with work,
yeah.
everything, so you can just enjoy yourself and start living the best that is yet to come. Thank you so much for being here in Avocado Talks. I have a gift for you. I'll give you
Uh-oh.
shortly.
Wine.
Guys, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Stay tuned to the next time.
Let's go. Avocado talk.
Yes, see you next time. Bye.